Hare Krishna. So, good evening, devotees. Welcome to this Bhagavad Gita course, Gita Made Easy. So, today we will be discussing from chapter 10, the Opulence of the Absolute. Very interesting chapter. So, let us go into this chapter. So, this whole course, Bhagavad Gita course, is based from based on the teachings of His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, founder Acharya of International Society of Krishna Consciousness. For more information on this chapter and Bhagavad Gita, you can always refer to this course of, you can refer to that book, Bhagavad Gita, as it is written by him. So before going into the class, let us offer our humble prayers at the lotus feet of Sri Krishna so that we may be able to understand the teachings and also get the strength to apply the teachings in our day-to-day life. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitamena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Utapatakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Vilita Shri Vishakanitam Scha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Deenabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namane Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschata Desatarine Mugam Karoti Vachalam Pangun Langete Girim Yatkripata Mande Shri Guru Dinatarinam Paramananda Madham Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram Hare Krishna Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Dvaita Gadadhara Shivasade Gauravakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So we are in the middle section of Bhagavad Gita. Today we'll be discussing from chapter 10. So as we are gradually progressing, these chapters are mainly focusing on the importance and glories of Bhakti Yoga. So today's chapter, before going to this today's chapter, we will just see what we have discussed in chapter 9, which is exactly the middle section of Bhagavad Gita, which describes the glories of Bhakti Yoga, how Krishna is so much attracted by pure devotion. So that acronym we discussed last Friday. Chapter 9, if you want to remember chapter 9, what are the contents discussed in chapter 9? You will remember the acronym King. So King means, so there are 34 verses. So K stands for knowledge. Krishna says this knowledge what I am giving to you, Arjuna, it is a Raja Vidya Raja Guhyam. It is the king of all knowledge as well as the king of, it's the secret of most secrets. So what is that? Devotion to the Supreme Lord. That is the king of all knowledge. And also it is, Krishna says it is Susukam Kartum Abhyayam. Susukam Kartum Abhyayam means it's joyfully performed. It's not that bhakti means you have to be like, you should be in very ecstatic. It is joyfully performed. It is full of happiness. And then Krishna says how his relationship with the material world, how he is connected with this material world, as well as how he is, interacting with this material world. Both the things he is describing, that Maya Dakshena Prakriti Suyetecha Saracharam. Krishna says that whole material world, whatever we see in this universe, everything is functioning under his direct supervision. Okay, so inconceivable relationship. And then he also says that even though I am the source, I am having relationship, I am controlling everything, still there are people who do not worship me. Either they worship me directly, and those who don't worship me, they worship me indirectly. So there are different categories given. direct worship and indirect worship, and people who do not worship Krishna also, thinking that he's a normal human being. So, avajananti mamuda manusham tanum ashritam parambhava majananto mama bhuta maheshwaram. Krishna says, avajananti mamuda manusham tanum ashritam. When I come in the human form of life, these people, they think that I am a normal human being, because I have taken a human form. But my nature is very superior. And they do not know that I am transcendental to this material world. And last section, Krishna exemplary glorifies the path of bhakti or devotional service. He says how somebody takes the path of bhakti, I will personally protect them. I will make sure that they will not be defeated in their life. So such is the wonderful qualities of bhakti. And even if you are not very, you do some mistakes unintentionally, then Krishna forgives and purifies us quickly in the path of devotion. So that was chapter 9, which was discussed last week. Today, we are going to discuss 10. How is this 9 and 10 going to be connected? The last verse in chapter 9 is the essence of Bhagavad Gita, because as I said, it is a middle chapter. The last verse gives the essence. So this verse is basically repeated 2 times. The only verse which is repeated 2 times in Bhagavad Gita is this verse. So what is that essence? Manmanabhava madbhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru mam evashyasi yuktaivam atmanam madparayana. Same verse will come in 18th chapter, the conclusion also. So Krishna is saying this is the essence of Bhagavad Gita. Krishna is directly speaking. Engage your mind always in thinking of me. Means you engage your mind in thinking about the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna. And that is Manmanabhava. Then Madbhakto, become my devotee. Okay? Madbhakto means Krishna is saying, become my devotee. Madhyaji, then offer your obeisances. Mam namaskuru, offer your obeisances. Madhyaji, worship me. So that when you do all these things, your mind becomes saturated with God always. So being completely absorbed in me, what will happen? The result is, after quitting this world, we go back to the spiritual world, which is the abode of the Supreme Lord. So you will definitely come back to me. So he's giving a guarantee that definitely you will come to me. So that was the last verse of 9th chapter. So with that continuation, we are going today to the 10th verse. So what is the synopsis of chapter 10? So Lord Krishna, at the end of 9th chapter, is advising to fix the mind on Krishna, like Manmanabhava Madbhakto. So Krishna is giving that instruction on the last verse in chapter 9. So if you want to fix mind on Krishna, here describes us the affluences in which a devotee can fix his mind while living this material world where we cannot see God, right? We cannot see God in this material world because by our physical eyes we cannot see. But while seeing this material world, by seeing the affluences which Krishna is going to describe in chapter 10, we can remember Krishna by seeing these affluences. Okay, that is we will see in detail in the coming slides how by seeing these affluences we can remember Krishna. And so we can see that when we see the affluent, powerful and beautiful things in the creation, we always know when the creation is so beautiful, we can also imagine how much powerful should be the creator. Like an artist is making a beautiful art, it is placed in the exhibition. So everybody is appreciating the art. Then we know the art, behind the art is the artist. So that artist is given the award because he has so much of creativity. Like that, when we see the most affluent, powerful and beautiful things in this creation, we can remember the creator, how much should be powerful and most creative the creator is. So that's how this 9th chapter and 10th chapter is linked together so that we can remember Krishna through his affluences. And conclusion of chapter 9 is that one should become a pure devotee of the Lord by focusing the mind of Lord. We just now recited the verse, Manmanabhava Madbhakto Madhyaji Mam Namaskuru. So the conclusion is that you have to become a pure devotee of the Lord. So chapter 10 is focused on the description of Krishna's affluences. In Sanskrit, it's called Vibhuti Yoga. Vibhuti means affluences. By hearing of affluences means you can say like a wealth or Aishwarya, something like that. Focus on description of Krishna's affluences. By hearing by hearing these affluences, what will be the effect? Our faith and devotion to the Krishna will increase. That is the focus of chapter 10. So they say that there is a saying that God is great. That is a general word, But we should also understand how far he is great. His greatness, we should also try to understand his greatness. Then we can understand his sweetness also. So only instead of telling God is great, let us try to understand how much God is great through this chapter 10. So first, there are three things are there going to be discussed in this chapter. Krishna's position as the origin of everything, 10.1 to 10.7. And the essence of Bhagavad Gita, there's a Chatusloki, is from 4 verses 8, 9, 10, 11. It's the middle of this 10th chapter. And 10.12 to 10.42 is the Vibhuti Yoga, or Krishna is going to describe the opulences based on Arjuna's request. Okay, so the request, Krishna is going to show his opulences. So this is the synopsis of chapter 10. So Bhagavad Gita, chapter 10, the affluence of the absolute, where we are trying to see God everywhere within this material creation. It is also called as the Vibhuti Yoga. So Arjuna pondered after 9.34 how to fix one's mind on Krishna. So here we are seeing the affluence of the absolute. When discussing the subject of spirituality, spiritual life, among different audience, certain reservations invariably seem to surface. Not everybody will, come with the same understanding. Some people may accept, some people may not accept. Like what we are discussing now, if we are discussing with others, some may accept, some may not accept. Everybody has their own conclusions and reservations about spiritual subjects. People complain that they cannot see God at work. While we are working, we cannot see God because He's not physically present there through our eyes. We cannot see by our eyes. And neither we have a direct experience of His existence. So people always challenge. What they challenge? You are praying to God. Can you show me God? That is a very common question. Even the teenage children or many people who do not believe in God, they say, where is God? Can you show me God? If you show me God, then I will believe in Him. Like that, people keep a challenge. But in chapter 10, Krishna is going to explain how the spiritual people can perceive God as a source of creation, because nothing can come out of nothing. Something has come out of something. That's the main thing. When we say there's a creation, then we definitely know behind this creation there's a creator. Okay, so God as a source of creation, and also see God within the creation. So two things we have to remember: God as a source of creation, because it's so much huge universe did not manifest out of nothing, did not manifest out of an explosion. It cannot manifest. So God as a source of creation is point number one. And also to see God within the creation also we can see God. However, to understand, to see God within the creation, it requires not only our intellectual understanding, it actually calls for our consciousness to be transformed so that God will reveal from within our heart. So that is the chapter 10 we are going to see, and the acronym called SEE, S-E-E. So we are going to try to see God. Okay. So SEE, S stands for source of everything, because we know God is the source of creation. Okay. And E is the middle part, is called essence of Gita, Chatusloki Bhagavad Gita. Very important. So 4 verses are there, 10.8, 9, 10, 11. And seeing this vibhuti or affluences everywhere within this material creation. So 3 things we are going to see here. So there are 42 verses in this chapter number 10. The first 7 verses talks about how Krishna is the source of everything. Very important. Second is the essence of Gita is 8 to 11, as I discussed in the previous slide. And from verse number 12 to 42, we are going to see the vibhuti or the affluences of Krishna, which is spread throughout this material creation. So here we are going to first see the section source of everything. Okay, so here we have to understand whatever we have science and technology today, how do we receive this knowledge? It is called ascending knowledge. In Sanskrit, it is called as Aroha Pantha. Ascending knowledge means you do research and then you find out something. That is called ascending knowledge. Means from bottom, you progress towards the top. From lower stage, you go to the higher stage. That is called as ascending knowledge. As we studied in mathematics, ascending numbers, descending numbers. Ascending knowledge means it's a research knowledge, which the scientists are following, where one understands the reality by empirical research and experimentation. But here Krishna makes a simple but powerful rebuttal of such an approach. He is explaining that which has been created cannot understand its source independently. So we may not understand. Let us see one example. For example, what is being created, he cannot understand the creation like that. Example, If one want to know the identity of the father using experimental approach, if I want to know who is my father and I want to do experiment with it, so much of DNA, I have to collect samples for thousands and thousands. It is highly impractical and mostly likely inconclusive. But however, if it is accepted as a testimony of the mother is telling, okay, my dear son, he is your father, as our mothers reveal, then if you accept that statement, that is called as our life becomes more easy, Same way, that is called as descending knowledge. The mother is revealing the identity of the father. It's called descending knowledge, means you just accept the authority. From the valid authority, you accept it. So here, Krishna is giving such a descending knowledge that he is the source of everything. Because we cannot understand God within this very easily. We have to accept the statement, what is being revealed in the Holy Scriptures. So in the same way, all material and spiritual creations have their source in Krishna. And one who approaches him can get scientific insight into the identity and purpose. Okay, once you accept the descending knowledge, it is no more a theory. Once you accept the fact that Krishna is the source of creation and start practicing spiritual practices, then Krishna will start revealing all the truths from within the heart. Okay, so that's a descending knowledge then becomes we can get convinced or we can have full conviction about the creation. So later, Krishna will explain how such knowledge can be actually and directly perceived. So this is source of everything. So we will see the first verse in Bhagavad Gita 10.1. Shri Bhagavan Vacha Bhuya Eva Mahabaho Shrunume Paramam Vachaha Yetteham Priyamanaya Vakshyami Hita Kamyaya. So Krishna is speaking here, Vyasadeva is writing Shri Bhagavan Vacha. Here again, Bhuya Eva Mahabaho means here again. So as I said, spiritual life hearing is very, very important. Here again means Krishna is telling the Supreme Personality of Godhead saying, listen again. Bhuya Eva Mahabaho. Mahabaho means Arjuna. Here again. What is that? Shrunume. What is that here? Paramam Vacha, supreme instruction. Because of you are my dear friend. Etteham Priyamanaya. Because you are my very dear friend. For your benefit. Vakshyami Hita Kamyaya. For your benefit. I shall speak to you further, giving knowledge that is better than what I have already explained. So he's going to give a more elaborate description. Shrunume Paramam Vacha means superior instructions I am going to give. Because you are my dear friend, Vakshyami Hita Kamya means for your own benefit I am going to speak. So we should always know when Krishna is speaking, he is not only speaking to Arjuna, he on behalf of Arjuna, he is all speaking to us. So when Krishna is saying, listen Arjuna, we should put ourselves in the place of Arjuna. Now Krishna is saying, because you are my dear friend, for your benefit, I shall speak to you further, giving knowledge that is better than what I have already explained. Bhagavad Gita 10.1. This is the first verse in 10th chapter in Bhagavad Gita. So Krishna is saying here, this is from Srimad Bhagavatam 1.3.23. Ekona vimshati vimshati me vrishni me prapya janmani Rama Krishna iti bhuva bhuvo Bhagavan aharat varam. So in the 19th and 20th incarnations, as we know, the Lord incarnates in different yugas. The Bhagavatam says the Lord advented himself as Lord Balaram. You can see the photo here. Lord Balaram and Lord Krishna, the family of Vrishni, the Yadu dynasty. And by doing so, he removed the burden of the world. So whenever we know, Dharma Samsthapanarthaya Sambhavami Yuge Yuge. Because the Lord is the creator of this universe, whenever there's a disturbance, the Adharma goes up and the Dharma comes down, the Lord takes the full responsibility to balance to bring back the Dharma in position. So he comes down every time to remove the burden of the world. Like that, in the 19th and 20th incarnations, the Lord advented himself as Lord Balaram and Lord Krishna in the family of Vrishni or the Yadu dynasty. That is revealed in Srimad Bhagavatam, which is a higher study of Srimad Bhagavad Gita. So that is Bhagavan. Now, frequently asked question, is there one Supreme Lord? So we already discussed in the earlier chapters that there are 33 crores of demigods, and Krishna is not one of the demigods. He is the Supreme Lord who is the source of all demigods. That is within our Sanatana Dharma. Now let us see in the global point of view. There are many holy scriptures, like we have Quran, we have Bible, so many. Okay, in that perspective, you see, so Jesus has given us Bible, right? So the Holy Bible is there. where throughout his teachings, he is always proclaiming, he never proclaimed as God, he is always proclaimed to be the Son of God. He is saying, hallowed be thy name, my Father in heaven, hallowed be the name. So he's always telling Father, Father, Father. So he's referring to the Supreme Lord, and he's always saying that he's proclaimed to be the Son of God. This is the what is said revealed in the Bible by Jesus Christ. And we know the Holy Quran also, where Prophet Muhammad is also saying that he was a messenger of God. Say the last messenger of God. So he never claimed himself to be God. He said there is no one equal to Allah. Like so, he's saying the Lord is the supreme, and nobody is equal to him. So, and he said, I am his messenger. That is also revealed through the Holy Quran. And we know Moses, his teaching, he also said he never claimed that he is God. He said he is also a messenger of God. And we know the Sikhs, they follow the Guru Nanak. He also is regarded as a greatest spiritual teacher. He has given a lot of teachings. And we know Buddhism is also very famous, where Lord Buddha taught meditation and renunciation. He said, Ahimsa paro dharmo. Ahimsa is the superior dharma. Like that he said. But he never said that he is the supreme. And there is also Jain religion, which is followed by a lot of Jains all around the world. And Mahavir Jain, he propounded this. Jainism was a liberated and is a perfected soul. So none of them, if you see, none of them claim that they are Supreme Lord. Nobody has claimed anywhere that they are the Supreme Lord. Or they are the source of all creation. Like what Krishna is claiming here, Am Sarvasya Prabhu. We will see that Krishna is claiming that he is the source of everything. None of the holy scriptures or none of the messengers claim like that. So then, who is Bhagavan? If everybody is a messenger, son of God, then who is Bhagavan? So, Krishna, according to the revealed scriptures and according to the Acharyas, Krishna is the Bhagavan. How we will see that based on the scriptural point of view? Bhagavan is having 6 affluences. So, let us see what are these. He is supreme. You see, SPEC, supreme, is the proprietor of everything and is the enjoyer of everything and is the controller of everything. So you can see this very important definition for Bhagavan. As we have in physics, we have some definition. Here in the Vishnu Puran, there is a definition for Bhagavan. What is Bhagavan? Bhagavan means one who has 6 affluences. What are the affluences? Let us read here. Aishwaryasya samagrasya viryasya esya shriya jnana vairagya chaiva sannam bhaga itingana. So Bhagavan is thus defined as one who is full in 6 affluences. Who is Bhagavan? Who is full in 6 affluences? Because we are going to see the affluences, Vibhuti Yoga. Who is full in 6 affluences? What are those affluences? Who is full in strength? So in the material world, there may be somebody is having strength, but they are not strength all the time. Or they are not say he is the strongest man in the world. No, somebody else will come after them. So who is having full strength that nobody can exceed him in the strength? And who is having fame, nobody can exceed his fame for eternity. And who is having wealth that nobody can claim that somebody is richer above him. And who is having knowledge that nobody can claim that I am having more knowledge than this person. And also in beauty and renunciation. So 6 affluences: strength, fame, wealth, knowledge, beauty, and renunciation. So who is having all these affluences in full? Partially, some people may have in this material world, somebody may be beautiful, somebody may be knowledge, somebody is having fame, somebody is having too much wealth. So instantly you see, if people are having this, partially we are getting attracted to them. Somebody is beautiful, we are attracted. Somebody is extraordinary in knowledge, like Einstein, we are attracted by them. Somebody is in renunciation, somebody, like Mahatma Gandhi, he renounced everything. So we made him as a father of our nation. Somebody is having full strength, we are appreciating, like the cinema heroes, people are attracted when they see displaying the strength. So anybody has these affluences, naturally we become attracted. So we can see here, first affluence of God is wealth. So Lord Vishnu is called as Lakshmi Pati, means Lakshmi is goddess of wealth and he is the husband of Lakshmi. That means the entire wealth, you can see the Lord is owning. You can see that Lakshmi is always serving the Lord. And wherever we say Lakshmi Narayana, we say. So wherever the Lord is there, his consort, Lakshmi Devi also will be there. So he is the proprietor of this entire wealth in this material creation because he is called as a Lakshmi Pati. The Lord, Lakshmi, is serving the Supreme Lord. You can see the image here where Mother Lakshmi is serving the Lord in a very nice way. His affluence. And also, you can see Brahma, where Brahma Samhita 5.29, where Lord Brahma is singing in this Brahma Samhita. So it is saying, Chinta Mani Prakarsa Sadmashu Kalpa Vriksha, Laksha Vriteshu Surabi Rapi Palayantam, Lakshmi Sahasra Sata Sambrama Sevyamanam Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Here the third line is very important. Lakshmi Sahasra Sata Sambrama Sevyamanam. Thousands of Lakshmis are standing in the line to serve Govindam. They are standing in the line to serve the Lord. Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. So this was revealed by Lord Brahma in Brahma Samhita. I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, the first progenitor who is tending the cows, yielding all the desires in abodes built with spiritual gems. This is especially referring to the spiritual world. Surrounded by millions of purpose trees, Kalpa Vriksha, always served with great reverence and affection by hundreds and thousands of Lakshmis or Gopis. So this is Krishna's position. Thousands of Lakshmis are waiting in the line to serve Govinda or Krishna. That is from Brahma Samhita 5.29. The second affluence of the God is actually strength. So nobody can exceed his strength. You can see the image here. Lord Krishna lifted the Govardhan hill at the age of 7 years in just his left hand in little finger for 7 days. So nobody can defy the law of gravity, but because since he is a creator, the material laws does not act on him. So that is where we can understand that nobody can lift a mountain like him. So that is the affluence of the Bhagavan. Third affluence of God is fame. Now it is almost 5,000 years before Krishna appeared in this material universe. And after that, he winded up his pastimes. But till we are celebrating Janmashtami, we never celebrate somebody's birthday for past 5,000 years. Maybe 50 years, 60 years, once the person dies, he is discarded, or maybe few generations. But you can see Sri Krishna Janmashtami is celebrated towards in the entire world in the month of September, August or September. So it is now 5,000 years. Ramanavami, we can say it is more, it happened in, even Treta Yuga. Narsimha Jayanti, we celebrated yesterday, it happened in Satya Yuga. So you can see, even though there were millions of years past, till we are celebrating their appearance, we are having special katha. That means we can understand the Lord's fame will never vanish. So nobody can be famous as the Lord. And the fourth affluence is beauty. That means the Lord is so beautiful that even the Cupid, the Madan Mohan, Madan. Madan means the god of love. He attracts the male and female. Because of Madan, we are getting attracted. The male is attracted to female, female is attracted to male. But Madan is attracted by Krishna, by beauty of Krishna. That's why Krishna is called as Madana Mohan. That means one who can attract even the Cupid, the love god. The so beautiful Krishna's, charismatic appearance, So Madana Mohan. The Lord has so much beauty. And the fifth affluence is knowledge. See, this entire Bhagavad Gita, Krishna presented in 45 minutes without any rehearsal or practice in the middle of the battlefield. And here, this knowledge is now, people are 5,000 years trying to understand this. The essence of Bhagavad Gita, the secret of Bhagavad Gita, the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. Big philosophers, scientists, Western philosophers, scientists, they try to study Bhagavad Gita, like Thomas Alva Edison, Oppenheimer. So many people studied this Bhagavad Gita, the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, as its universal teachings. So still it is being worshipped, and we celebrate Gita Jayanti every year in the month of December, worshipping the teachings of Bhagavad Gita. So that is the fifth affluence of God, knowledge. So, and 7.2 also Krishna says, Jnanam tehem sa vijnanam idam bhakshami asyetataha yajñātva neha bhūyonyaj jñātva mam avishyase. I shall now declare unto you in this knowledge, both phenomenal and luminous, this being known, nothing further shall remain to you, for you to know. This is for the previous affluence. Krishna is giving the highest knowledge, knowing which nothing further shall remain for you to know. This means this is the topmost knowledge, Raja Vidya. And the sixth affluence of God, Aishwaryasya Samagrasya Viryasya Yasya Shriya Jnana Vairagya. Vairagya, renunciation. We can see renunciation, even though Krishna is the supreme Lord, he is the owner of everything. He showed the entire universe within his belly to his mother Yashoda. One time Mother Yashoda told Krishna that you are eating dirt. Friends are complaining. Open your mouth, I want to see. Did you really eat the dirt? When Krishna opened as a child, within his entire mouth, the entire creation was there. So such a supreme Lord, and in 11th chapter we are going to see Krishna is going to see the Vishwarupa. Vishwarupa, universal form. He is going to practically display the Vishwarupa in front of Arjuna. So such a powerful Lord, what he does? He becomes a charioteer for his devotee. He takes such a menial position. That is an example that even he does not consider his supreme position to be supreme. Many people may think that why Krishna is glorifying himself. But we should also know that even though the Lord is so powerful, he so much comes down, he can do anything for his devotee, that he became a charioteer for his devotee Arjuna, and he washed the feet of Sudama for the poor Brahmana when he came to his home. So he was washing his feet. So we can understand, even though there is greatness of the Lord, which is explained in this chapter, we should also remember the sweetness and the love Krishna is having for his devotees. And what is the process of knowing one's creator? Krishna is saying in the 10.2, the second verse, neither the host of demigods, the demigods also cannot understand, the devatas cannot understand Krishna easily, nor the great sages, there are Sapta Rishis, they also cannot know my origin because they are all created. So Krishna is a creator. So it is not easy to understand the creator when you are being created. For in every respect, I am the source of demigods and sages. So all the 33 crores of demigods and all the sages, they are all, the source is from Krishna. That is the 10.2. See here, Krishna is declaring that I am the source of everything. So what is that process? Arjuna is asking, like, what will be the result of knowing you? So, okay, you are saying you are the source and you are the greater. So what will be the result of knowing you? That we are going to discuss in the coming verses here. So generally, so we say that famous statement, God is great. Some people write, in the car, in somewhere they write, God is great. So we know that generally people know God is great, but they do not know in detail how God is great. Here are the details. If one knows factually how God is great, what will happen? Then naturally he becomes a surrendered soul and engages himself in the devotional service. If you know somebody great, like we say government servant, because the government is a big body. When we say we are government servant, we become proud, we're like a government officer. So when we know God is great, with greatness, then naturally we will become surrendered to him and start engaging in devotional service. When one factually knows the opulences of the Supreme, which we are going to discuss in this chapter, there is no alternative but to surrender to him. This factual knowledge can be known from the descriptions in Srimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita and similar literatures. So how do you know the greatness of the Lord? By these holy scriptures, we can know his greatness. So second is, we are going to see that essence of Gita now. Essence of Gita is the 4 verses. The whole Bhagavad Gita is having that essence in these 4 verses, which is called as Chatusloki Bhagavad Gita. Chatusloki means 4 verses. So these 4 verses contains the essence of Bhagavad Gita and describes spirituality in its 3 essential stages. Okay. So if you see spirituality, there are 3 stages in spirituality. The first stage is called as Sambandha. Sambandha means relationship. Knowledge or relationship with God and the universe. It's called Sambandha. First stage. Knowledge and relationship. Sambandha means, you can see Sambandha means relationship. What is the relationship? My relationship with God and the universe. The second stage is practice and application of such knowledge. Like we know here Bhagavad Gita, then we are going to apply the application, teachings of Bhagavad Gita of such knowledge in one's daily life. Otherwise, why knowledge? We want knowledge without implementing. So when you apply this teaching, that is technically called as Abhideya or the process. That is second stage of spirituality. The third stage is the mature fruit of the practice. When you do that Abhideya process, you get some result. You get the fruit. Like you pour water to the tree, then there is flower or fruit. So first you plant, then you pour the water, then you get the flower or fruit. Like that. First you have the Sambandha knowledge, which we are getting now through Bhagavad Gita. Then you apply the teachings, that is process, Abhideya. Then when you practice this process, you get some fruit. That is, what is that pure fruit? That is the third stage of spiritual life, which is your consciousness get purified and you develop your love for God. That is prema. So that is the 3 stages: Sambandha, Abhideya, Prayojana. Relationship, process, and result. So this is known as Prayojana. Thus, Bhagavad Gita is actually a spiritual science. Since there is hypothesis, Sambandha. Sambandha means first we are giving theoretically that Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. Everything is originated from it. This is hypothesis, Sambandha. Then, as science, when you give a theory part, then you do the experiment. That is called as Abhideya. You start the experiment. Okay, now whatever the process, let me try to practice in my day-to-day life. That is experiment process. And finally, by that experiment, you come to an observation or conclusion called as prayojana. Yes, whatever said in Bhagavad Gita is correct. I can see that my mind is better now. My heart has got purified. I feel very happy, blissful, and I am convinced that there is a creator and I am eternally related with him. And he is loving me, he is taking care of me, and my duty is to serve him with love. So all these things can be realized as a fruit in prayojana. So this is the essence of Gita. Let us see what are the verses. We are going to see the 4 verses. Progression of Chatusloki. Verse number 1, which is Krishna going to describe Krishna's affluences. Verse number 2, the activities of one who knows his affluences. Once you know the Krishna's affluences, Sambandha, then the activities of one, this is Abhideya, verse 2. And verse 3 and 4 is Krishna's reciprocation with those, that is Prayojana, result. So Krishna starts reciprocation with his devotee. So Sambandha, first verse. Verse number 2 is Abhideya, the process. Verse number 3 and 4 is the result of this Abhideya, process. Prayojana. So let us see the first verse, 10.8, which is going to see the Sambandha Jnana. Sambandha Jnana. Krishna is going to tell here what is the Sambandha as a Jivatma we have with the Supreme Lord. Here we will see the affluences. Am Sarvasya Prabhavo Matta Sarvam Pravartate Iti Matva Bhajante Ma Buddha Bhava Samanvitaha. So as I said, none of the holy scriptures is declared like this. Here we can see Krishna is declaring, I am the source of all spiritual and material worlds. This is the first thing. Means I am the source of everything you see here and which you cannot see. Both. I am the source of all spiritual and material worlds. Am Sarvasya Prabho. Everything emanates from me. Matta Sarvam Pravartate. Everything emanates from me. Iti Matva Bhajante Mam Buddha Bhava Saman. Buddha means intelligent people. The intelligent people are wise people. The wise who perfectly know this, that Krishna is the source of all the creation, they engage. Iti Matva Bhajante Ma. Bhajante means worship. Ma means me. They engage in my devotional service and worship me with all their heart. Like Lord Christ also said that the first commandment in the Holy Bible is actually love God with all your heart, mind, and soul, and love your neighbor as thyself. So we have to develop our love from our heart for the Supreme Lord. They worship me with all their heart. This is Bhagavad Gita, first Chatusloki 10.8. Am Sarvasya Prabhavo Matta Sarvam Pravartate Iti Matva Bhajante Ma Buddha Bhava Sam. Now we know the Sambandha that I am related to Krishna because he has created me. Yes, and this creation also, this material world and spiritual world, everything is existing because of him. And everything is emanating from him. Then we start the process. Krishna is the origin of source of all spiritual and material worlds. This is Opulence of the Absolute, text number 8. So you can see here, there are a lot of references. Maybe you think only Bhagavad Gita says like that. No, there are a lot of other Vedic literature support these statements, like Atharva Veda in Gopala Tapani Upanishad. It is said that Yo Brahmanam Vedati Puram Yo Vai Vedam Chak Gapayati Sma Krishna. It is Krishna who is in the beginning instructed Brahma in the Vedic knowledge and who disseminated Vedic knowledge in the past. So all Vedic literatures agree that Krishna is the source of Brahma, Shiva, and all other demigods. And also we can see here, Narayana Upanishad, it is said, Eko Vai Narayana Asinna Brahma Na Ishano Napi Nagni Somo Neme Dvai Apritvi Na Nakshatrani Na Suryaha. In the beginning of the creation, there was only one supreme personality, Narayana, who is Krishna himself. There was no Brahma, no Shiva, no water, no fire, no moon, no heaven and earth, no stars in the sky. No, this is Maha Upanishad 1.2. So here, we already understood the Sambandha, not only from Bhagavata, from other Vedic literature also. Now, Arjuna is thinking, now having received this knowledge, how he will engage himself, a Jivatma. So this is Abhideya, or the process, the second stage of the spiritual life. Machita Madgata Prana Bodayantascha Parasparam Katayantascha Mam Nityam Tushyanti Cha Ramanti Cha 10.9. Previously we discussed 10.8. It's 10.8. So Machita Madgata Prana. What is that? The thoughts of my pure devotees dwell in me. They always think about the Lord. Their lives are fully devoted to my service. And they derive great satisfaction. It is not that they are doing as a burden. By doing that, they derive great satisfaction and happiness and bliss. and bliss from always enlightening one another and conversing about me. That's why when we say there is a Bhagavad Gita class, people are interested to hear about God, about creation, about my relationship with God. Whenever there is a class, people are very inquisitive to know about spiritual science. So this Abhideya means the process starts when you know about Krishna, Machita, Matgata, Prana, Bodhayantascha Parasparam. Mutually they exchange. And Katayantascha Mam Nityam, they discuss about my science. By that, Tushyanti cha Ramansi, they enjoy. They have satisfaction and they enjoy by discussing about me. So this is Abhideya, the process. So Prayojana, the third stage is Krishna. Once you know the Krishna's opulence, then you start the process. Then Krishna's turn is now to reciprocate back. Because you are doing the Abhideya process, now Krishna will reciprocate. That is 10.10 and 11, the last two verses. Krishna, what he does by reciprocating, Krishna gives some guidance from within Paramatma. He will guide you what is right, what is wrong. Sometimes we do not know what to do in life. So Krishna gives the guidance on what part and how they can return back to him, back to home, back to God. How to go back to the spiritual world. Krishna will further guide you for further stage within as a Paramatma. And also within Paramatma, what he will do? He personally dispels any ignorance that may be in their hearts with the lamp of knowledge. This is Krishna's reciprocations when you do this. So the special mercy of the Lord destroys all the impediments within the heart and dispels any ignorance in the heart with a shining lamp of knowledge. This is Krishna's reciprocation or prayojana. So we saw that how Krishna will guide us on the path back to home, back to Godhead, and how he will destroy our ignorance which is in our heart by the shining lamp of knowledge. So that is a Sambandha Abhideya Prayojana. It's called Chatusloki Bhagavad Gita, or it is called as the essence of Bhagavad Gita in 4 verses. Now Arjuna, after hearing the Sambandha Abhideya Prayojana or Chatusloki Bhagavad Gita, which is spoken from the lotus mouth of Krishna, Arjuna is accepting. Yes, I accept you as a Supreme Personality of Godhead with full faith. This is how Arjuna is accepting. So this is the Bhagavad Gita 10.12 to 15. Now Arjuna is giving his conclusion that I accept you, you are the Supreme Lord. So he is saying, Arjuna is saying this important verse, you can see 10.12 to 13. Arjuna uvacha, Param Brahma, Param Dhamma, Pavitram Paramam Bhavan, Purusham Saswatam Divyam, Adidevam Ajam Vibhum, Astum Rishaya Sarve, Devarshi Naradas Tata, Asito Devala Vyasa, Swayam Chaiva Bravishyame. So Arjuna said, you are the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the ultimate abode. Param Brahma, Param Dhamma. Two things. See? Param Brahma, you are the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Param Dhamma, you are the Supreme Abode. Pavitram, you are the pure. Paramam Bhavan, the absolute truth. Purusham Saswatam Divyam, you are eternal, transcendental, Adi Devam, Ajam Vibhum. You are the original person, the unborn, the greatest. Okay, now I am saying, it is not, I am just flattering you or glorifying you. No, he's telling, Antam Trishya Sarve, not only me, all the great sages like Narada Muni, Asita, Devala, and Vyasa confirm the same truth about you, and now you yourself are declaring it to me. Swayam Chaiva Bravishyame. So Arjuna basically is saying here, not only I am just saying from my mouth, all the great rishis were also in the same conclusion. Who are those great rishis? Narada, Asita, Devala, Vyasa also confirm the same thing. The same thing you are revealing to me now about by these 4 verses in Bhagavad Gita. So you can see here, Param Brahma, you are supreme truth, Param Dhamma, ultimate about Pavitram, the purest, Paramam Bhavan, the absolute truth, Purusham, you are the person, supreme enjoyer, Saswatam, eternal, Divyam, transcendental, Adi Devam, original Lord, Ajam, unborn, Vibhum, the greatest, accepted by all acharyas, Narada, Asita, Devala, and Vyasa. I totally accept as truth. You yourself are declaring to me. So neither demigods or the demons can understand your personality. Krishna already told in verse number 2 that I am the source of all the demigods, so they also cannot understand me. So this is now Arjuna, this is how we should accept Bhagavad Gita. Then only we'll get correct knowledge. Like how now Arjuna, who is Arjuna? Arjuna is our representative. How Arjuna is accepting, if we are accepting, then the real knowledge will be revealed within our heart the due course of time. So this is how Arjuna accepted Bhagavad Gita. So here you can see how Arjuna expresses himself through the grace of Krishna. If we want to understand Bhagavad Gita, we should accept the statements in these 2 verses. This is called as parampara system. Parampara means guru shishya. The knowledge is transmitted through the parampara. Acceptance of the disciplic succession. Unless one is in the disciplic succession, he cannot understand Bhagavad Gita. It is very difficult. It is not possible by so-called academic education. Because I am a PhD or I know Sanskrit, it is not assured that you will understand Bhagavad Gita. You can understand Bhagavad Gita like Arjuna, like in the disciplic parampara system. Unfortunately, those who are proud of their academic education, despite so much evidence in the Vedic literature, stick to their obstinate conviction that Krishna is an ordinary person. See, people, because sometimes people are materially highly educated, what they say the common public will follow because they are not taking the knowledge from the right person, the dissenting knowledge. So what they do, they just tell, no, this Krishna is normal person. The society, common society also, people, they accept because this is a great man, he is speaking like that. But according to Arjuna, according to the great rishis and sages, that Param Brahma, Param Dhamma, Pavitram, Paramam Bhavan, Purusham Saswatam Divyam Adidev. Same way we have to accept based on these teachings of Bhagavad Gita. Then Arjuna is speaking, and all these things we already discussed. Indeed, you alone know yourself by your own internal potency. O Supreme Person, origin of all, Lord of all beings, God of God, God of all gods, Lord of all the universe. So whatever holy scriptures you see, whether Bible or Quran or Bhagavad Gita, all except there is only one Supreme God. There is not two gods. Okay, but everything else, one Supreme Lord. Rest are all demigods or angels, whatever we say according to the their culture. So this is what Krishna is. Arjuna is telling, oh Krishna, I totally accept the truth. All you have told, neither this one we already discussed. Sarvam etat ritam manye yen man mam vadasi keshava nahi te bhagavan viktam vidur deva na danavaha. So nobody can understand Krishna. This is what Arjuna is saying. The demigods, forget about human being. Neither the demigods nor the demons, no, oh Lord, can understand your personality. It's very difficult. But by the parampara knowledge, by the Guru Sishya parampara, by this parampara, we are mercifully getting this knowledge. So that is our great fortune. It's not, it's very rare to get this knowledge about the identity of the Supreme Lord. So now Arjuna is submitting his request now after accepting the statements of Krishna and means referring with the sages' realizations. Arjuna now is actually getting into this Bhuti Yoga with the opulences. Now only the actual section is going to come. Please tell me, Arjuna, please tell me in detail your divine opulences by which you are pervading these worlds. In this material world, how is your opulences pervading? How shall I constantly think of you? How shall I know you? This is 10.16 and 17. And 10.18, I am very, very eager to hear. So Arjuna is asking, I am very eager to know your opulences, how you are pervading in this entire material creation. Can you please explain me? Like that, Arjuna is requesting 10.16, 17, and 18, 3 verses. Now, why Arjuna is requesting? We already, Arjuna concluded that he is the Supreme Lord. So why should he go further if he is not having any doubt? Arjuna in 10.16 already satisfied with the understanding of Krishna, and he has no doubt about Krishna's position. That he has revealed already in 10.16 that you are, nobody can understand you, but I can understand that you are the Supreme Lord, and the sages also declared the same. But why Arjuna is asking this question? There are 4 reasons. 1, 2, 3, 4. 16, 17, 17, 18, 3. Okay, for the sake of common people, like us, he wants to make this re-emphasize on behalf of common people and especially impersonalists who believe that Lord does not have a form and who particularly concerns themselves with all pervading nature of the Supreme. So Arjuna is asking on the sake of our common people who do not believe or accept this truth. And for the sake of materialists also, Arjuna is asking, also wants to know how materialists who observe in physical things can see Krishna manifested in the physical elements. And for personal absorption also, like I want to observe more, I want to know the opulences. So that is 3rd reason. And to 4th is to taste the nectar, wants to hear more and more about taste of words emanating from the lotus mouth of Krishna. So these are the 4 reasons why Arjuna, even though he knows Krishna is the Supreme Lord, still he is asking, can you explain your opulences? It is for the benefit of common people, for materialists, for personal absorption, and want to hear more from Krishna. So that is the 3rd section we are coming, the last section for today's session. Everywhere, verse number 12 to 42 is very, very interesting, where Krishna is going to explain his opulences. So we already saw that Arjuna is satisfied, but why is again asking? So Krishna is going to explain here, naming 82 affluences. He is going to give here 82 affluences, Vaibhava. Then Krishna, finally, after explaining all these affluences, Krishna concludes by stating that this simply is a hint of his glory since he pervades. He's telling these 82 affluences is just a fraction of my affluence. There are innumerable affluences, but he's only giving a hint here. He's saying by a fraction of my energy, I am supporting this entire creation just by a fraction of my energy. That is the greatness of him. So let us see here Krishna's 82 affluences we are going to see now. Very interesting. So Krishna is saying, of all, I am the super soul. There are verses here that saying that I am the super soul seated in the heart of all living entities. I am the beginning, middle, and end of all beings. So here he's saying, of Adityas, I am Vishnu. So you have to see affluence means the topmost of Adityas, I am Vishnu. Of the light, you can see the sun is the most important thing. So he's saying, of all the lights, I am the radiant sun. Of the Maruts, I am the Marichi, means the controlling deity of the wind. The topmost category of everything is actually Krishna's affluence. Among the stars, I am moon, nakshatranam, I am Sasi. So, and Masanam, Drigishisham. Of the demigods, I am Indra, the king of heaven. Of the Vedas, I am Samaveda. So actually what we are going to discuss is some samples only, some sample side. Of the senses, we know this Indriyas, I am the mind because mind is most powerful. In the living beings, I am the living force, consciousness. Because the living force is there, I am speaking, you are hearing. That living force is Krishna's affluence, Vaibhava. So one thing we should understand, of all Rudras, I am Lord Shiva. Okay, so Krishna is saying, of all Rudras, I am Lord Shiva. So here, we should know that when Krishna is saying affluences, it is not directly Krishna, it is his affluence only. It is his Vaibhava. It is not directly Krishna. Okay, so of Vasus, I am fire. Of Yakshas and Rakshasas, I am Lord of Kuvera. Of the mountains, I am Meru. So that is also he saying. So these are part of the 82 affluences which Krishna is explaining in chapter 10. So text number 24. Of priest, O Arjuna, know me to be the chief Brihaspati. Brihaspati is the chief priest of the Devatas. And of generals, I am Kartikeya. We know Lord Muruga. Of all the general commanders in chief, I am Skanda or he is saying I am Skanda or Kartikeya. Of the bodies of water, I am the ocean. You know, ocean is huge. So Krishna is representing the ocean in the bodies of water. Among the bodies of water category, Krishna is representing ocean. And among all the generals, Krishna is representing Kartikeya. So like that. Of the great sages, I am Bhrigu Muni. Of vibration, I am the transcendental Om. So we know that Om sound is very, very powerful for meditation. So Krishna is representing that Om. Of sacrifices, I am chanting the holy name. So when you chant this holy name, that is also representing Krishna actually. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna says, Japanam, Yajnanam, Japo Esmi. Yajnana means of sacrifices, Japo Esmi means I am chanting a holy name. Of immovable things, I am Himalaya. So of all the immovable things, Krishna represents Himalayas, the great mountain. So here you can see all these affluences, the 82 affluences Krishna is saying. Quickly we can read. Of all demigods, Krishna represents Indra. Of Adityas, Vishnu. Of Maruts, Marichi. Of Rudras, he is Shiva. Our Yakshas and Rakshasas, Kuvera. Of Vasus, he is Agni. Of generals, he is Kartikeya. Of Gandharvas, he is Chitrartha. Of creators, he is Brahma. Of Daitya demons, he is Prahlada. Dispensers of law, Yamaraj. Departed ancestors, Aryama. Cause of procreation is Kandarpa or the Madan. Among the sages we are seeing, among the sages, categories of sages, of all sages, I am Vyasa, who compiled these Vedic scriptures. Of great sages, I am Bhrigu. And sages among demigods, I am Narada Muni. And among the priests, I am Brihaspati. And perfected beings, I am sage Kapila. Of great thinkers, I am Ushana, which is Sukracharya. Again, the demigods here category, coming second category is among lights, I am radiant sun. Among stars, I am moon. Among mountain, I am Meru. Among immovable things, I am Himalaya. Among water bodies, I am ocean. Among the trees, I am banyan tree. Among the purifiers, I am wind. Among the flowing rivers, I am Ganges. Among creations, I am beginning, middle, and end. Among months, I am Margashisha, which is representing the month of December. Among seasons, I am spring, because spring is so beautiful with a lot of flowers and ideal climate. And I'm among time, I'm inexhaustible time, and no being, moving or non-moving, can exist without me. And among philosophical truths, I am the super soul in all living entities. I am the heart of every living entity. And I am the living beings, I am the life force. Among the senses, I am mind. I am the beginning, middle, and end of all beings. I am the generating seed of all existences. I am the generating principle of all that is yet to be. Among the poetry, I am Gayatri. Among the letters, I am the letter A, because that is the beginning of letter. Among the compound words, I am the dual compound. Among sciences, I am spiritual science of the self. That means Atma Tattva. Among the logicians, I am the conclusive truth. Among the hymns in the Sama Veda, I am Brit Sama. Among animals, Krishna is representing. Among horses, I am Ucheshreva. Among the lordly elephants, I am Airavata. Among the cows, I am Surabhi. Among the serpents, I am Vasuki. Among many hooded Nagas, I am Ananta. Among aquatics, demigods, I am Varuna. Among the fishes, I am representing shark, because shark is the most powerful amphibian. Among the beasts, lion is the king of the jungle. Among the birds, I am Garuda. And here you can see, among the law and crime subduers, I am time. And the wielders of weapon, I am Lord Rama. Among the cheaters, I am gambling. Now, gambling is cheating. So Krishna is representing that also. And the meanings of suppressing lawlessness, I am punishment. And among the weapons, I am thunderbolt. And I am all devouring death. And the qualities, among the wise, I am wisdom. And among the secret things, I am silence. And those who seek victory, I am morality. And the splendids, I am splendor. In the woman, Krishna is representing the fame, fortune, fine speech, memory, intelligence, steadfastness, and patience. The patience, women have more patience. That patience actually is a Krishna's opulence. I am the adventure, I am the victory, I am the strength of the strong. And humans and king, among Pandavas, I am Dhananjaya. Among men, I am monarch. Monarch means king. And the descendants of Vrishni, I am Vasudeva. And the Vedic mantras and the vibrations, I am transcendental Om. On sacrifices, I am chanting of the holy name. And the Vedas, I represent Samveda. These are Krishna's 82 affluences, beginning from this verses, the last section. All these verses give this explanation. Either given the summary. Of course, I will share this in the WhatsApp group so that you can always again refresh this, what Krishna is saying about the various affluences represented as demigods, sages, qualities, animals, all those things. So this is expressed from Bhagavad Gita 10.20 to 39. So very important. So we are coming to the last section. After telling all these 82 affluences, what Krishna is saying, Atava bahunaitena kinyatvena tavarjuna vistabhyam idam krishnam ekam stena sito jagat. So, because Arjuna asked this, Krishna is explaining, what is the need here? What is the need is there? Arjuna, for all this detailed knowledge, why do you want these affluences to be known? With a single fragment of myself, I pervade and support this entire universe. So just by a fraction of my, single fragment of the Lord's energy, he is supporting this entire cosmic manifestation. That means we can understand what is Krishna's position. Atava bahu naitena kimnyatvena tavarja. Why you want to know all this knowledge? Vistabhyam idam Krishnam ekam stena sito jagat means jagat is just supported by ekam stena, just by a portion of my energy. That is how Krishna, without any effort, without any difficulty, Krishna is actually supporting this entire material and spiritual creation. So today's acronym, we discussed that how Krishna is the source of everything. In the beginning, Krishna is saying that how all the demigods, sages, all have come from him. And even they do not know my full nature. And the 4 verses we discussed about the essence of Gita, which is called the Chatusloki, Bhagavad Gita, which is actually 3 stages of spiritual knowledge: Sambandha, relationship, Abhideya process, and Prayojana is a fruit. So Sambandha, Krishna is saying, Aham sarvasya prabho matta sarvam pravartate iti matva bhajante ma buddha bhava samanvitaha. So that I am the source of material and spiritual world. The wise who know that they engage in my devotional service. And then Abhideya we saw that Machita Madgata Prana Bodhayantascha Parasparam Katayantascha Manityam Tushyanti cha Ramanti cha. The Abhideya process is people discuss about me and engage Tushyanti, they derive satisfaction by speaking about me. Then Prayojana is Krishna is telling, I am reciprocating to those devotees by removing their ignorance, by means lighting the lamp of knowledge and removing the darkness of ignorance. Am ajnana jam jamaha jnana deepena bhashvataha. So that is 4 verses in essence of Bhagavad Gita. Sambandha, Abhideya, Prayojana. Relationship, process, and the result is Krishna will guide you back to the spiritual world when you engage in devotional service. And Krishna can be seen everywhere, this material creation. Verse number 12 to 42, what we have seen here, this Vaibhava we see. But how Krishna you can see, when you see lion, you can always remember it is a Krishna's affluences. By seeing a lion, you can remember Krishna. That's how you can remember. When you see a shark, you can remember Krishna. When you see the sun, every day people we see the sun. So when you know sun, you can see it is a manifestation of affluence of Krishna. Behind this is a Krishna's power. So by seeing this, when you see Ganges, when you see banyan tree, when you see ocean, we always go to the beach. We can always see that this is Krishna's affluence. By seeing these material elements, we can again think about Krishna, which Krishna is saying the 9th chapter 34 verse, Manmanabhavo Madbhakto. Think about me. So by seeing these things in the material world, you can always see Krishna is all pervading through his affluences as everywhere. So this is one way by which we can remember Krishna. So we can also perceive Krishna everywhere through his affluences. Even though Krishna is not personally present, but he is pervading as his affluences. So this summary also I will share in the WhatsApp group. You can go through this summary. No, sorry, this is chapter 10. I will share the summary. So thank you very much. I think we are on time. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So next week is an interesting topic where after explaining these affluences, this is theoretical. Now Arjuna wants to see this practically also. One is theory, he wants to see by his eyes. So Arjuna is requesting, can you show how this is exhibited as a practically? I want to see. So Krishna is awarding divine vision to Arjuna to see all this Vaibhava within, as in one, as a, like you see in the IMAX theater, one screenshot. Like that, Krishna is going to display the Vishwarupa in front of Arjuna in the middle of the battlefield. That is called very, very famous and important chapter. It's called Vishwarupa Darshanam, exhibiting the universal form of the Lord. Hare Krishna. So that we will see coming week, Friday, same time, local time 6 p.m. and 8:30 p.m. Indian time on the same link. So thank you all. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So now it's a time for question and answers. So maybe you'll have some questions or comments on this chapter, because Bhagavad Gita sometimes at one shot we cannot understand. We need to hear 1 or 2 times slowly. We are wrapped up in 1 hour time. So maybe some of us cannot follow. So if you have any questions or doubt, you can please ask. There is one question, Ankit Shukla Prabhu, Hare Krishna Prabhu, in the chat box. We all know that Maya is great fraud who performs the tricks in smart way, same like a magician. Yes, very true. She gives whatever we want, either bhakti or wealth, as per our qualifications. Correct, very true. She is the goddess Lakshmi, she is the Ma Bhavani, and she is Bhakti Devi. She is the yoga of yogis, and she sat as a queen inside King's palace. So my question is that, what should we practice to see everywhere, God or Maya? Definitely, we should, it's a good, nice question. Prabhupada said, there are 2 things. We should be cautious of Maya and we should be conscious of Krishna. So this is the 2 essence, we can say. Because Maya is very powerful. It can divert us from the path of bhakti or divert us from the path of back to home, back to Godhead. So 2 things is, we should be cautious of Maya, because Maya can divert us or trap us at any moment, as we all know that we will be diverted. And at the same time, we should be conscious of Krishna. And the more we are conscious of Krishna, naturally we will be cautious of Maya. And Krishna is saying here in the 10th chapter, he's trying to become more conscious of him. And Krishna also says that in the 7th chapter also is saying that Devi Yesha Gunamayi Mama Maya Duratyaya. Krishna saying, my Maya Shakti is very, very difficult. Devi Yesha Gunamayi Mama Maya Duratyaya. Mama Maya Durateya means my Maya is very difficult for you. If Krishna will tell something easy, it is difficult for us. But Krishna himself admits, Mama Maya Durateya. Because why it is difficult? Because he's saying, this is my energy. Deviyesha Gunamayi, this is my divine energy. It's not easy for you. But solution is in the third verse. Deviyesha Gunamayi Mama Maya Durateya. Mam evaye prapadyante. If you try to surrender to me, Mam evaye prapadyante, surrender to me, then Maya metam tarandite. So you can easily cross over Maya. So solution also there. The same verse is giving the problem, first two lines, and the third and fourth line gives the result. That Maya metam tarandite means when you do this devotional service, slowly Maya's influence on us will reduce. So we should be cautious of Maya and conscious of Krishna. So all the scripture is saying, Smartavya Satatam Vishnur Vishmartavya Jatuchit. Always remember Krishna and never forget Krishna. So that is more important, to see God and remember God every time. And be cautious of Maya. Hare Krishna. I think it's okay, Prabhu. You are able to follow. Hare Krishna. So any other questions? Very clear. Okay, very clear. So any questions on today's discussion? See, we should always know that there is God who created this world, but we never know who is God. Everybody, every spiritual organization gives certain conclusions and certain kinds of understanding, and it is confusing people. But if you take the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, which is as revealed by God, Bhagavad Gita means, as we know, it's song. Bhagavad means it is a song of God. And Krishna is directly telling, we are searching God, and Krishna is telling, here I am. So if you accept it, our process becomes easy. That's called descending knowledge. Without much endeavor, we accept the statement, like we accept the statement of mother, that beta is your father. We accept it. We don't do any research. Then we get the benefit from the father, right? Same way, the Sambandha, we know the Sambandha, that Krishna is the Supreme Lord, creator of this entire material and spiritual world, and he is the source of all the creation, including the demigods and sages. Now, when we start the Abhideya, the process of practicing devotional service, which starts with chanting of this holy name of Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Regularly chanting this mantra, we start this Abhideya, then we can see how Krishna is reciprocating in our life. That is Prayojana. How he will guide us, how he is purifying our heart, how he is helping us to take the right decisions, how he is protecting us from dangers, how he is making our mind peaceful and happy. All those things is a result when you do this experiment. Initially, maybe we are skeptical whether these are all things, but we should first take it theoretically and put it in practice. Then we can understand these truths are actually it is facts. By Prayojana, Krishna will reciprocate, then we can understand. Hare Krishna. Very clear. And so whatever we are discussing, it is purely from Bhagavad Gita. We are not going any text or verses outside Bhagavad Gita. Whatever verses, if you know a little bit of Sanskrit, you can always go to any Bhagavad Gita and just try to read the verse, and you can understand this is the same thing Krishna is telling, that Devi Yesha Gunamayi, Mama Maya Durateya, Mamevaya Prapadyante, Maya Metam Taradite. Yes, in the Maha Mantra, please, there is one more question. Please advise the importance of Hare Rama. So Prabhupada explained the meaning of this Maha Mantra. What is this Maha Mantra? Hare means the energy of the Lord. See, the Lord is called energetic, and the Lord is having innumerable energies. So this energy is coming from energetic. Like sun is there and the sun's energy is coming out, right? So sun is the Lord and the energy is actually the energy. The light rays, the light and heat is coming, is the energy of sun. Same way, this Hare is actually, we are praying to the energy of the Lord. Krishna is an energetic person and Rama is also the energetic person. So what we are actually, when we are chanting this holy name, we are not directly going to God first. We are first going to the energy of the Lord. Because the energy of the Lord is more compassionate than the Lord. So we are first requesting Hare, oh my dear energy of the Lord, please help me to engage in some service, seva to the Supreme Lord, Krishna and Rama. So this is the meaning. So my dear energy of the Lord, Hare, so please engage me, give me an opportunity to do some seva to the energetic Krishna and Rama. That's all. There is no other meaning for this mantra because we are serving the society. We are serving our family. We are serving our relatives. We are serving our caste. We are serving our community. We are serving many things. But we are not happy by serving all of them. Sometimes they cheat us. Sometimes they exploit us. Now we are asking God, please give me an opportunity to serve you. Because serving God is our eternal dharma. And by serving Lord, we are actually going back to God. So this is very important to know. Hare means Srimati Radharani, or we can see the energy which is actually represent the feminine form. So when we go to God, normally when a child wants something from the father, they don't directly go to the father. So they go through the mother. The mother sees the right time when the father is in the good mood, and then she will tell to the father that, our son wants this thing, and the father is in good mood. He will tell, okay. So Krishna is like the father, and this energy is like the mother, and we are actually the children. The Jivatmas are children. So we go to the mother first, and we pray to the mother energy of the Lord, Hare, and we request mother, please give me some opportunity to serve the father, the Lord. So the mother is very compassionate, and she gives us some opportunity to do some seva, and also she recommends us to Krishna that this soul is a very sincere soul. He's trying to serve you. Please take him back to our abode, the spiritual abode. So that is how Hare Krishna. That's why when we pray, when we say Sita Ram. We never say Ram Sita. We say Radha Krishna. We never say Krishna Radha. So always in our Sanatana Dharma, the energy is given more importance. And the feminine part of the Lord. The feminine part of the Lord, they are not different from Lord. They are feminine part of the Lord. Is more compassionate nature. So when we address through that, our prayer becomes more effective and more successful because they are very merciful. So that is another one. And Shobhana Mataji, Hare Krishna with such a vast chapter exhibited in concise form and well explained. Lord Krishna has openly expressed his authority over everything in the spiritual realm and the material realm. Hare Krishna. It's very true. We have to accept the statements of Shastra as it is. As people accept Bible or Quran, we accept the teachings of Bhagavad Gita, and we are trying to develop our service tree, devotional service. Okay, next. Rama, a sub-deity, is a part of Mahamantra. Any particular reason? Hare Krishna. Okay, again, here when we say Rama, it represents Lord Ram also. Also, it represents, as we discussed today, Balaram. Because the Bhagavatam says Lord Krishna and Balaram are not different. It is not that Balaram is an expansion of Krishna. And Rama is also an expansion of Krishna. So this Rama, also Krishna's name is also Rama. So this Rama represents all the three. It represents Krishna. It represents Lord Rama also, who appeared in Treta Yuga with Mother Sita. Also, it represents Lord Balaram. So it's addressing all these supreme personalities. And Krishna is directly addressing the Supreme Lord himself. Hare is the energy of the Lord, or the feminine form of the Lord, like Radharani or Mother Sita, like that. So we are addressing both the energy of the Lord as well as the energetic, and we are praying to them. Please give us some opportunity to engage in your seva. By engaging in Lord's seva, we get purified. By getting purified, we develop love for him. And by developing love for him, we go back to the spiritual world after leaving this material body, where there is no misery of birth, death, old age, and disease. So the purpose of spiritual life is to stop the repeated cycle of birth and death and go back to our original home, where we do not want to suffer from this body of repeated birth and death, and also the mind, depression, and all those things. We have an eternal life of happiness in relation with the Lord by serving the Lord, by Lord's reciprocate with us in love. So that is the essence of this chapter of chapter 10. So any other questions anybody is having? So Ankit Shukla Prabhu, also Prabhuji, name of the Lord Krishna and Rama is same. Yes. As per 10 Nama Aparad, we should not feel any difference in both the names. Yes. So here we are seeing, we are always reciting the 10 Aparad, that we should, Lord Ram and Lord Krishna's name are equally powerful. Somebody want to chant Lord Ram's name also, it is equally powerful. But Krishna's name, like Lord Shiva says, Shri Rama Rama Rameti Rama Nama No Rame. So we saying that by chanting Lord's Ram name, so much happiness is there. So there are people who chant Lord Ram's name also separately. All the Lord's names are very, very powerful. Nam Nam Akari Bahuda Nija Sharva Shakti. All the holy names of the Lord are very, very powerful. There is no difference that this name or this. But here specifically, This mantra is called as Maha Mantra. Maha Mantra means sometimes when the disease is severe, people recommend, the doctor recommend high mg of medicine, no, high dosage of medicine, because they say that if they give 10 milligram, it will not work. They give 500 milligram. So Kali Yuga means we are so much disturbed. So we need a higher potency, even though they are not different, but the potencies are different. The potencies of the name, some will work after you tell 1 lakh times. Some will work after you say 10 lakh times. Some will work after 1 lakh. But this Hare Krishna is Maha Mantra. It has more potency. It is said that when you chant 3 times Lord Ram's name, 1 time chanting Krishna's names is equal to chanting 3 times Lord Ram's name. So like that, there is an equation I will share in the group also, that from the scripture it is said. So by chanting this Maha Mantra, it is very, very powerful. Like you are taking a high dosage where you can be quickly purified and you can develop. So that potency is very important. Even though all the names are equal, all the names are powerful, but on this part of the potency, this is called as not mantra, this is called as Maha Mantra, the greater mantra of all the mantras. That's why it's called Maha Mantra, Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. In that way, it will help us in a quicker way of spiritual progress. Hare Krishna. Okay. So nice questions. Any other questions anybody want to ask on this section? Either you can ask by audio or by unmute from your mic, or you can also type in the chat box. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Shankarnath Murari Prabhu. Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, see, before this, our moving the ISKCON movement, so we are chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Even
Yes.
some this Vaishnava Sampradaya, as Prabhuji asked, so before they start the Rama names, so
yes,
they start with Ram. Still, they are believing the Ram, the deity, is the supreme, and also they are giving more importance. Even they both the Krishna Lila, they are giving the first Rama these names.
Yes.
And
Yes. Yeah,
some
very
of them,
true, Prabhu.
yeah. So still they are chanting these names. First Ram.
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Correct, Prabhu?
So yes, so these are chanting.
Yeah.
So there is no difference at all. Even
No difference.
Even
See,
chanting
actually,
first, yeah.
Either you can chant with Hare Rama, Hare Krishna. See, once you chant Hare Krishna continuously, it's all come together only, no? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna. So the Rama, it's all like together. But in the scripture, it is like Hare Rama only first. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. It is like that in the scripture. That's why they are chanting like that. But what happened when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was giving this name that everybody chant, he was distributing, there were a lot of Brahmanas who opposed that these are Vedic mantras, should not be chanted by everybody. So Vedic mantras are supposed to be chanted by Brahmanas. Like that, they were arguing. So then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu mercifully changed the reverse. No? He said, okay, you are telling this Vedic mantra, I will change it. He put Hare Krishna first and he put Hare Rama second. Then he said, this is not a Vedic mantra. No, you can chant. But the potency is same. Either you chant with Hare Rama first or Hare Krishna. Because we are followers of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we start with Hare Krishna. But either way, it has the same potency.
Okay,
and again, here we are taking the shelter of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is none other than Krishna himself. The potency is higher because it is instructed by Krishna himself. Who is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? He is Lord's, none other than Krishna himself coming in the form of a devotee. So he is telling you chant Hare Krishna like this, so it is having more potency than what is written in the scriptures.
Okay. And also today's the past subject to about this Bhagavad Gita, the Chadutalogi, it's the entire Bhagavad Gita and the Krishna's opulence. So he's really this beautifully explained this all verses. And one more thing, Prabhuji, this we discussed today, this Sambandha Abhidaya Prayojana. The verses talking 10.8 Sambandha and 9 is Abhidaya. The Prayojana means 11, 10, 11, 10, 10.
Prabhu, Sambandha is 10.8, right, Prabhu?
Yes,
and 10.9 is Abhidaya. And 11, 8, 9, 10 and 11, I think Prayojana, right?
Yeah, 10
what
and 11.
Krishna is saying, first is that he is telling, I am the source of everything, that is Sambandha. Then Abhidaya means Machita, Madgata, Prana, Bodhayantascha Parasparam, that is 9. And then Krishna is telling, I am Ajnana Jamjamaha, I am destroying the ignorance by the shining lamp of knowledge, and also I am reciprocating. That 2 verses will be Prayojana.
Prayojana, 10 and 11 Prayojana, correct? Mercy of the Lord.
Yes, that is reciprocation. Prayojana or fruit. Because you are doing something for God. he is reciprocating with you. Like in material world, you are doing friendship with somebody you are calling and they are also calling you to home like that. Krishna, because you are having dealing with Krishna starts reciprocation. How Krishna will reciprocate in two ways. One is he will guide you back to spiritual world. That verse is there. Tesham satata yuktana vajatam priti purvakam dadami buddhi yogam tam yenamam upayantite. So Krishna is telling, Tesham satata yuktana vajatam priti purvakam. So whoever always is vajatam, is worshipping with priti purvakam, is doing seva with priti. The word is priti. With love if you are doing, then dadami buddhi yogam. I give them buddhi. What buddhi? Yenama upayanti. How I can come to me, back to spiritual world. That buddhi I will give to them. Dadami buddhi yogam yenama upayanti. That is one verse. 10.89, 10. Then 11 will be that aham janya anyana jamjamaha. That I am as a lamp. So that is two verses as a prayojana, reciprocation. Sambandha avideya prayojana. Nangi Chuka Prabhu again, Hare Krishna, nicely explained in chapter. Just adding, in Kali Yuga we are not so pure. Very good. We are not pure. It is said in Bhagavad also, Kaler Doshe Nide Rajan. In Kali Yuga there is an ocean of false. To jump Lord Ram name, so yes, we are not so pure to utter Lord's Ram name, because in scripture there is a controversy. But Mahaprabhu Krishna's name first, yes. So it is said, Kaler Doshe Nide Rajan, Asti Eko Mahan Gunan. But there is one good quality in this ocean of false. What is that? Kirtana Deva Krishnasya. If you chant the Lord's name, Kirtana Deva Krishnasya, Mukta Sangha Param Rajit. Mukta Sangha means you will be liberated from all material issues, and Param Rajit, you will also achieve the supreme destination. So this is the ultimate conclusion of our Vedic scriptures. What is that? In Kali Yuga, there are ocean of false. Kaler Doshe Nide Rajan. Oh, my dear king, in this Kali Yuga, there are ocean of false. We are not pure. The outside world is not pure. The milk is contaminated. Ghee is contaminated. Vegetables are contaminated. Everything is contaminated. So we are consuming that. We are also contaminated. The WhatsApp is contaminated. Social networking are contaminated with so many things. So definitely we are contaminated. So Kaler Doshe Nide Rajan. So many contaminations there, but there is one good quality. You think the positive thing within that. Like we see honey within the flower. Asti Eko Mahan Gunan. But there is one good quality in this ocean of false. What is that good quality? Third line, Kirtana Deva Krishna say. If you do the Kirtan of Krishna's holy name, Kirtana Deva Krishnasya, Mukta Sangha Paramrajit. You will get liberated from these material miseries, and Paramrajit, you will also achieve the spiritual abode. So that's very nice feedback. Yes, very true. That Krishna's holy names are very, very powerful, and this Hare Krishna Mahamantra can help us. Hare Krishna. Is there any other questions or any comments further? Okay. If there are no other questions or comments, thank you all for giving your time, precious time in hearing this wonderful knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. And let us again meet next week. So thank you all for all the devotees for giving your feedback and appreciation here. All credit goes to Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada, because of whose mercy we are receiving this transcendental knowledge in a very simple way. Okay, so we will meet again next Friday for chapter 11, Vishwarupa, very interesting, where Krishna is going to display the Vishwarupa, huge form in front of Arjuna, where Arjuna is able to see everything at one shot. So that will be 11th chapter, Vishwarupa Darshanam. That will be same time, Friday, we'll meet 6 p.m. Till that time, have a wonderful week ahead. Hare Krishna. Vancha kalpatarubhascha kripa sindhu bevacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Ananta Kodi Vaishnavavrinda ki jai, Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai. Hare Krishna. Thank you all. I will end the session now.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Krishna, thanks, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.